Posture. Okay, hello internet, and welcome to episode 65 of Verbal Graffiti with your host Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Yes, this is episode 65. I said episode 64. Last episode was 65. I miscounted. So that episode, 64. This episode, 65. I promise all you listeners of Verbal Graffiti, I will practice my counting this upcoming week so I can pronounce the correct episode in the beginning of each one. Are my lights on? Yes, they are. Popping my collar like it's 2006. I was talking to a college buddy of mine, and we were talking about popping our collars. I was bringing it back. Bring it back. I had a terrible set last night. One of the worst comedy stand-up sets I've had in a long time, probably at least the last year. I was at Dangle's bar, Wing Spot in New Haven, Connecticut. Small room. I started off with talking about an interracial couple. It didn't go over too hot. And then it spiraled from there. I was pulling out some old jokes about smelling babes who walk by you in the grocery store. You could close your eyes and their scent just lingers as they're 35 feet away. How amazing those pheromones can be when you're fertile and those eggs are still, not producing children with deformities and autisms. And I just learned about the word geriatric pregnancy. I guess that's when you're in your high 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, when you get pregnant and there's a higher risk of. All right, I'm not a gyno, so let's move along. Anyway, had a terrible set. Had that icky feeling that, I need to write more. I need to put more effort. The good thing about having a set where you bomb and you question your life and you're thankful you don't own a gun, so you don't, put it to your temple, and you're thankful you're not an alcoholic and you drink yourself to death. The good thing, the good thing about having a bad set like I had last night is it makes you regroup, write, and really focus. It makes, sometimes I get a little too arrogant. I got on stage and I have a couple ideas like, I'll talk it out. I'll make it funny. Like, nope. Gotta be direct to the point. Know the topics I'm going to talk about, the punchlines, and really just get to it and not stray too much. So having a terrible set makes me focus, makes me have to reevaluate, makes me question my comedy, which inevitably makes it better. And I'm pretty good at that, questioning myself, internal dialogue. So, you take the positive from the negative. I think that's how batteries work. The reason why I bring this up, to be, man, I don't want to let you all know I'm a terrible comic who wasn't not able to get any laughs, wasn't able to get any flow, get that wave going. I bring it up because we're at the bar. I'm doing so bad on stage that there's a TV on to the side, behind the bar. There's a TV up on the wall of a WNBA game. It was, I don't know the name of the teams, but it was Minnesota and Atlanta. So they're playing. It was the second half. They're running up and down the court, and I'm having a terrible set. So I'm watching the game as I'm bombing, and I start commenting on the game while I'm on stage. And I'm watching these ladies, these professional athletes, run up and down from foul line to foul line, and I'm thinking aloud to the audience, and I asked the question, what underwear do WNBA players wear while they're playing? And to broaden this out, like, what type of underwear do female athletes wear while they're playing their sport? Because as guys, it's pretty well known, or at least I think so, that most guys are wearing compression shorts, boxer briefs, maybe a cup to protect their highly valuable wiener and balls. But what do the babes wear while they're sporting out there? Do they wear thongs? Or do they wear bikini underwear? Or do they go boxer briefs like the guys do with the compression shorts? And I'm watching the WNBA game last night and watch them go up and down the court, and it's in HD. So during timeouts, when they're doing close-ups on the players, I'm trying to look to see if I can see a panty line they underneath their basketball shorts, and I didn't see any. So I walked away not knowing the answer to that question, and nobody in the audience did. So if any of you babe athletes out there, well, let me know down in the comments, what type of panties, if any at all, do you wear while playing sports, whether it be basketball, field hockey, soccer, I don't know, all the sports that you play, football. What type of undergarments are you wearing? Do you have? Are there such thing as female cups to protect your? I really don't know. Speaking of this region, episode 64. I've just started wearing jeans again. As I had mentioned, I don't wear jeans in the summertime. So last episode, I realized after I was recording that my fly was down the entire episode, all 45 minutes. This episode, don't worry though, I made sure, yes, my fly is up. Had to get that out of the way. Also, before we move on to something I found on Reddit, I went to the dentist this morning. I grind my teeth while I sleep because I stress about verbal graffiti and how to make it funny and useful and entertaining for all of you 7 listeners. But no, I grind my teeth while I sleep, so much so that I have to wear 2 mouth guards, one on the bottom, one on top. But yeah, I basically have no teeth in the back. So I had to get a fake crown made. So a fake crown, and in 3 weeks I'll get the real one, and the doctor will put that in. If you don't know, and I didn't know because this is my first crown, what the dentist did is, and I won't say his name because I don't know if he wants to be associated with verbal graffiti because he's a real professional. He just Novocaine the fuck out of the left side of my mouth. He put in the needle. I've never done fentanyl, never been a heroin guy, cocaine guy, but he jacked that needle in my lower gum area. I felt a little pinch. Within 5 minutes, like I could not feel the left side of my face. Like I was trying to itch my ear, and like I couldn't feel it. I was getting a little freaked out. But he did a great job. And what I mean by that is I didn't feel anything. He went in there with it was him and his assistant, and they had their hands in my mouth, and he was grinding away. It sounded as though he was cutting down a pine tree. It was like, and he was jabbing and evening things out, I think. I didn't feel anything, but I heard the noise that would have been made that would have been hurting me if I wasn't jacked up with fentanyl. We need to do better at that in the dental profession. I'm asking all you teeth professionals out there, please, let's make those machines silent. We have silencers that we could put on guns, the AK-47s, when you pop, 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 where you don't hear anything. Why can't we do that for the dentistry machinery that grinds our teeth down and cuts them into pieces and puts in the crowns? Even though I can't feel it, I can hear it, and it's a little freaky. We need to do better as a dental society and make those silent. So that if I had a genie with 3 wishes, that'd be one of them, to have silencers that we could put on those dental machines that the dentist jab into our mouth and open your mouth wider, to the left. It's so much. He's like, move your head to the left, keep your jaw open. I'm like, I can't feel the left side of my face. My mouth is aching because I have a strong jaw and I don't have a wide mouth. I'd be terrible as a gay guy. Terrible. I would not be able to suck wiener. My mouth is not open. But every time I go to a dentist, open your mouth wider. It's like, dude, you see, like, you know what I'm working with. I can't open any wider. But he did a great job. So if I'm mumbling a little bit more than I usually do, it's because the left side of my face was jacked up with fentanyl earlier this morning. There's something else about the Oh, that's why I was wanted to get to. Talking to my dentist, he's a bit of a history buff. I'm a bit of a history nerd. And I was talking about, but right before he jacked that Novocaine in my mouth, that fentanyl, whatever cocktail that numbed my face. I said, man, I'm so thankful I live in an age where we have Novocaine and anesthesia. And I told him, so many people, when you ask them, if you go back at any time and period in history, like, where would you go? And my answer has always been, I don't want to go back any further than before Novocaine was invented. And he told me that Novocaine was invented in the 1840s, and originally doctors didn't like they had to be convinced to use Novocaine and anesthesia because they believed that it was some type of voodoo cocktail and that they thought it was good for humans, their patients, to feel the pain while the surgeries were taking place. So it took almost a decade before the entire medical community accepted that, yes, this Novocaine is actually useful for our patients. So, yes, next time someone asks you that question, hey, how far back in history do you want to go? Think about getting a crown put on your tooth without any Novocaine. And then think about that before you give an answer. Moving along, as all you know, talking about my teeth is one of those 7 topics I can always talk about. So, and as I just proved. All right. Moving along, Verbal Graffiti, episode 65. I found this one on the subreddit, Solo Travel. Device recommendations if I plan to blog, research during my international travel. Plan on bringing a GoPro to record my journey and create content. I have an iPad Pro, but after reading some posts, it doesn't seem like a good idea to bring something that expensive. My primary uses are to edit, store videos during my free time, and plan my itinerary along the way. Nice if I could download books and movies to watch on long flights and layovers. Pause there as I try to teach myself how to read. Moving along. So those who travel, record, and make content, what is your setup like? Do I need the latest GoPro to make decent content? Would a cheap laptop work? Would appreciate recommendations. Destination, Europe. My recommendation is please, I'm begging you, do not bring your GoPro. Do not bring your laptop or your iPad. Actually, do not make any content while you're over there in Europe. I guarantee you, the B-Man gives you a guarantee that everybody you know and everybody on the internet that doesn't know you that may watch your content, we all know where the Eiffel Tower is. We all know where the London Bridge is. We all know where the red light district in Amsterdam is. We've seen all these locations. Europe is not an unpopulated area. There are so many videos and vlogs and photos that you learn about all these locations in history class while you're in public school. We don't need your vlog. Nobody's going to watch your vlog with your stupid face, with your GoPro Go, as you're looking at your face with the Eiffel Tower behind you. Go, hi everybody, it's a Tuesday afternoon. I just got a loaf of bread at a cafe because we're in Paris and there's cafes on every corner. Right behind me, you may have never seen this building. This is the Eiffel Tower. We all know. Nobody's going on YouTube right now and say, you know what? I want to look at the Eiffel Tower. And if they do, they don't want to look at your video. Because let me ask you these questions, sir, solo traveler. Are you famous? Are you a YouTube star? Do you have more than 1 million followers on any of the social networks? No. Do you have amazing cleavage? No. Are you able to get into the VIP locations in Europe that most of us fatties in America do not have access to? No. Are you friends with locals in Europe that can bring you to locations that are the non-touristy areas, that us potato heads who wear fanny packs and Crocs and sunscreen and a I love New York hat, those locations that us have never heard of? Do you have people who can bring you, locals that can bring you to those locations that you can film for your vlog? No. Do you have charisma? Do you have the riz to keep people entertained while you travel from country to country, city to city, landscape to landscape? No, 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 you don't, because your post was boring as fuck. Sorry, the last thing we need on the internet is another white guy who just graduated college and is going to vlog his vacation. We don't need another person. There's hundreds of those on the internet, and you're not as beautiful, and you're not as intelligent, and you're not as witty as any of them. So just quit it with the vlog. And if you do, I guarantee you, you're not going to listen to me. I looked up the price of a GoPro, $300. iPad Pro, I believe, is $1,200. This is not a $20,000 engagement ring. This is not. Yeah, that's real money, but it's not real money. Bring the GoPro. Bring the GoPro. Don't listen to anything I said. Like I hope you won't bring it, but you will. What if you're so afraid of yourself getting mugged or hit up and getting stolen from you? Learn to be a man, huh? Learn to use your hands, hit up the gym, learn how to throw a jab, an overhand, do some UFC, maybe get a pocket knife, or how about get a gun, huh? How about get a gun and be a real American? So if someone comes up to you, you pull it out of your pocket, you go, no, my GoPro, not yours. Keep it along, find another tourist. That's advice Advice 1 is don't vlog. Advice 2 is you're probably not going to listen to me, so bring a gun or learn how to fight so you can protect your gear. Let me give you a little insight as a content creator. Going into this solo traveling around Europe, backpacking, creating a vlog, making a vlog is going to ruin your experience there while you're overseas, because that's all that's going to be on your mind. When you're a content creator, that's all you're thinking about. So when you're going to these great locations and you're walking around London, the streets of London, you're not going to be just taking it all in, the culture, the music, the sounds, the smells, the phone booths, the double-decker buses. You're not going to be able to enjoy that at your pace, because all you're going to be thinking about is, okay, I got to set up my tripod, and I got to set up my camera, right angle. What angle should I shoot from? Is my microphone working? And what time of day is it? Do I need an ND filter to put over my camera lens? There are all these questions you're going to be asking, and you're going to set everything up. And then people are going to be walking by like, hey, what are you filming? And they're going to ruin your shot, and you're going to have to reshoot it. And then at night, instead of, let's say you step up from the hostel and you get yourself a nice hotel room with a little bit of a balcony. So you're looking out at the Alps. Maybe you're sipping on a little bourbon. You can't do that, because you know what you got to do at night? You got to be in your bedroom editing all the content you made during the day. So you got whatever program you're using. Let's say it's Final Cut Pro. That's what I use. You got to cut up all the film, and then you got to color grade it, and then you got to link up the audio, and you got to do all that, and then link it to your social media, and then you got to do that day after day after day. And before you know it, 2 weeks in your solo backpacking trip, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm in Amsterdam. Let's go walk along. Let's go walk. You know the pictures of Amsterdam. I'm not cultured. I don't know what's there other than the red light district. Oh, let me go walk the streets. No, you're on you're going to be on the computer early, waking up early on your cheap laptop. Like, okay, so what are good destinations with a nice backdrop so I'll look good in the film. Like all you'll be thinking about is like where you can film and how it will look and what's the angle you can take for today's video instead of enjoying the slowness that is Europe. It literally becomes a cloud over your entire traveling. It's not that verbal graffiti. I love this. It's my passion. I'm trying to make this into a career. So, like, I deal with the cloud. I deal with those constant thoughts, and I know the game. But you don't. You think fuck it. I'll just put up my phone, a couple nice videos. Maybe I'll get a couple thousand followers. I'll come home and, I could go to the bar, show some strange, and she'll give me her fur burger that night. That's the only reason why guys go to Europe. It's to get the floozies over there with your American accent and then to come home stateside, and then you could talk about your travels at the bars to that strange and then pull her panties off later that night. That's the only reason why guys go to Europe. I hope it works out for you. But this travel vlog, don't do it. Don't do it. It's going to alter your completely travel itinerary and not for the better. It's just going to become a stress, time consuming, and what's another adjective or way to describe it in a negative manner? It will be all consuming, and therefore you won't be able to consume the joys that Europe can bring to an uncultured American fatty like yourself. Let's go look at something right now. Verbal Graffitis, episode 65, segment 2. Remember to share this episode with all the inmates that you may know, whether it be state or federal prison, regardless of race, black, white, Mexican, Asian, whether they're affiliated with a gang or not, no matter their age. I think all the inmates will enjoy the chuckles we're trying to provide or the content we're putting out here at Verbal Graffiti. To me, man, I want to piggyback on what we were talking about there in that first segment with the traveling. Well, more so what I want to get at here is social media posts. We, and I use that term we, whether you're American or international, if you're partaking in posting on social media, especially stories, we need to raise the bar. Ask yourself this: what is a story? A story, go back to the early days of school. You have an intro paragraph, you have a few bodies, then you have a conclusion. Actually, that's a persuasive essay, but a story, there's an arc to it. There's an arc to the story. There's a beginning, and then there's a struggle, and then there's an end where you overcome the struggle. What I'm trying to say here is, everybody's stories are the same. We're putting up photos, especially if you're on vacation. It's a photo of you on the beach with the pearly blue water, with the perfect sun, the clouds, the blue sky. It's you and your babe, your lover, with arms around each other with the sunset behind you, or you're by the pool, you're showing nothing but your legs, and then you're holding a tropical drink that's blue or neon green, and it's got the drink in focus, and then it shows your legs, or maybe your face is out of focus while you're holding the drink. We're all doing that. So, oh, great. So we all know, okay, you're somewhere in the Bahamas, so we can go to your house and rob you of everything you own. Other than that, though, that's a photo. How did you get to that photo? You're not telling the story within the story. They call it Instagram stories for a reason, because are real. You're not giving us anything. You're just showing us. You're showing off where you are, but you're really not showing us anything other than a photo of you in an ideal location, or maybe you're on a mountain skiing. Like I want more development in your reels, in our stories, in our posts online, than just a photo with a cocktail or a mocktail, or just showing the landscape that's behind you. I need more substance. You got to ask yourself this before you post a reel or a story on social media. Is this enjoyable to a stranger or to your friends? And I'm telling you, I know all your friends won't tell you this. I'm going to tell you this for them. Nobody wants to see a photo of you in a tropical location or in an international city when we're not there with you. You're just putting up those posts to make us feel jealous about our lives. I mean, you're telling us without telling us that your life is better than our lives. And we don't appreciate that. But we're no better because then we go to those locations and we do the same thing that you did. And it's this never-ending cycle. Here at Verbal Graffiti, we're asking all you, let's raise the bar. Yes, let's make all our families and friends jealous with our posts on social media, but let's elevate the posts that we're putting out. Let's do more than just a photo of us with a beer at a cafe in the corner of some street in Paris or Austria. Is Austria still a country? I don't know. They were prior to World War II, so yeah, it was a country within the last 150 years. Yeah, let's raise the bar. All right. Our last subreddit of episode 65 comes to us from Chipotle. People with multiple orders reading them off your phone. Hand emoji. Hand over face emoji. Hot take. Oh, let's hear your hot take, sir. You are literally slowing things down for everyone. Me waiting in line, the workers, you, and the other people waiting in line. If you are gonna do the Chipotle run, just order online and pick it up and save everyone the headache. Sir, take your hot take and go drown it in the Atlantic Ocean. With all sincerity. I mean this, what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say, I mean, is that I sincerely hope that you drop a 25 dumbbell on your foot and you break a toe and you have to be in a cast for the next 6 weeks. That might be, I'm not going to say it's the worst take I've ever read. It's definitely not the hottest take I've ever read, but it irritates me because I don't want to be hyperbolic and go like absolute the worst. But I don't like the take. What I don't like more, I'm struggling with this one. How to speak. Brian, learn how to speak. Get it back together. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to fast food joints. The takeout orders, the ordering online on the app is the bane of my existence. I truly believe that the day that Starbucks, McDonald's, Chipotle, all these places put it out so you can make an order on app and have it ready when you show up at the fast food joint, that was the day fast food saturated fats died, in my not so humble opinion. It drives me insane. I go Looney Tune. You see how I can't really speak right now? It's because I'm angry, because I'm thinking about being at Chipotle right now. Mentally, I'm in Chipotle and I can't speak because I'm filled with anger. When I'm there, because I'm a guy who, I don't order on the app. I go to the location. Like, I'm at Chipotle, boots on the ground, right there. I'm looking at the employee, the NPC, overweight, half stoned out of his mind, hair coming out the visor, hasn't showered in 3 days. I'm there in front of that employee with a ready to smile and say thank you. I'm there, well mannered, in a good mood. I'm about to have myself a burrito. Yes, I'm not a bowl guy. I know there's more food in that, but I like the burrito because I like the employees that have to do more work, and I like seeing them have to make something in front of me other than just dip it in a bowl. I'm a psychotic like that. But I'm there, boots on the ground, ready to have my food, ready to make eye contact with that NPC employee, and he doesn't even, or she doesn't even look up at me because the employee is looking at that little machine that's pumping out the papers, the receipts of all the orders that are coming in from the guy who's too lazy to even show up at the store. He has so much disrespect for Chipotle and the employee that he won't even bother to show up and even make eye contact with the employee. What he's doing is he's making his order from 25 miles away from the seat of his fake leather living room couch. That's how little he thinks of your establishment and the employees there, that he just wants to go there, pick it up, and leave. And the fact that the employee is making that person's orders instead of mine, and I'm there, boots on the ground, ready to say hello. Yes, I would like a chicken burrito with hot sauce and guac. Thank you very much for your service. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to give you my order. But no, you won't even make eye contact with me because you're reading off the orders that are popping off that machine. That ordering fast food and Starbucks and coffee on the app for pickup, that's going to cause a civil war in this country. Not anything the Democrats or the Republicans or politicians are doing. People jumping ahead of me online with the app, that's what's going to cause physical strife, conflict in this country. And I know there's no going back, and I'm losing this war, but I'm willing to fight it. So I'm there. I'm here right now in Chipotle in my mind. It frustrates me. But what might frustrate me more than me having to wait for the employee to be done making the orders of the people who the patrons that aren't even there is this poster at Chipotle, the Reddit for Chipotle, complaining about a patron in line doing a Chipotle run, listing off orders for, I'm assuming, him and his family. He's there. He's in line. He's boots on the ground. He's not the one you should be angry at. Like, what else do you want this guy to do in front of you at line? Like, he's clearly making an order for his entire family. Would you rather this guy have to bring his entire family, his daughters, his 3 daughters, his wife, and his mistress to Chipotle together? Do you know how much time that would take? He'd have to get the SUV. He'd have to put the kids in the baby chairs, lock them up. Then he'd have to drive there with the wife in the passenger seat and pretend not to see the text that she's sending to her coworker, but it's really the coworker she's cheating on her husband with. And he's got to pretend like he's not seeing any of that. Then they get there, and then they're in line, and the girls, no, I want the brown beans, not the black ones. And then they put the brown beans on, but they say, no, I changed my mind. I want the black ones. And then the father's got to apologize. Oh, sorry, she changed her mind. Hey, can you get your order straight the first time? And then there's an inter-family argument, and then a lot of apologies to the employee. That would make the line so much longer. It would make the family's dinner so much longer. Him being there by himself with a list on his notes app, boom, boom, boom. Yes, it's time consuming, but not nearly as time consuming as if the entire family was there together. And you complaining about this, does nobody love you? Have you never been part of a family? I ask because this is what families do. This is what this guy in line was doing. This is the definition of fatherhood. This is being a dad. This is being a man. The man in the family goes out to get the food and brings it back. That's part of the job of being a dad. You take the order at home, you go to Chipotle or wherever you're eating out, you get all the food for the family, then you bring it home. The reason why, A, because he's a good dad, and B, because it gives him some time by himself. Dads and mothers need that. They need that ride to the food place. They need that more than they need the food, the nutrients that come from that food itself. So you need to have, see, you're so fucking self-absorbed that you can't even have empathy for a mom or a dad who probably works 60 plus hours a week, is letting daycare raise their children, and their families being held together by antidepressant medication and extra sour cream at Chipotle. And you have no empathy for them or even any realization of what's going on. And all you're worried about is they're trying to feed a family, but all you care about is, well, this is giving me a headache because it's taking 10 more minutes. Now, fuck you. I hope you drown in an Atlantic Ocean and break your toes and can't walk ever again. That's a terrible take, hot take. No, I want nothing of your hot take. I was looking, though, on the Chipotle subreddit. Shit you not, 1 out of every 5 posts was somebody with a picture of their food on a scale, whether it's the chicken or the beef, complaining about getting gypped by Chipotle. Like, hey, I'm supposed to be getting 6 ounces of chicken and this is only 4.5. At least 20% of the posts on Reddit, that's what they're complaining about. To all of you complaining, what do you expect? This is a corporation. This isn't a mom and pop restaurant. All they care about is the bottom line. Yes, they're going to gyp us. So listen, if you're so wound up that you're going to Reddit, you're taking pictures of your food and saying you should have had more, watch a couple episodes of Verbal Graffiti. You'll find a lot more. There's a lot more out there going on in the world to bitch and moan about. My one complaint with Chipotle is the food is never hot. I go there like the fat food craving American I am. I get like I said, a chicken burrito with hot sauce and guacamole, and I take it out to my car and I eat it like the solo incel that I am. And it's literally the walk from Chipotle to my car. I'm there in less than a minute, and the burrito is lukewarm at best. So Chipotle, do something better. Can you please make your food hotter for all of us patrons that need and desire saturated fats? Please do that for us. And yeah, everybody, go suck a fat one.